Nobody's sitting around trying to make your life easier. So why do you as a man think that you owe some random stranger a more comfortable life just because of their gender? And salute to the ladies. I love the ladies. I am kind. I'm not nice. That's just the way I move. The problem that we see today in 2025 is the society has programmed men systematically to be in this mindset of the 1930s, traditional men. Not saying that, there are some individuals that, we have certain things in our nature, providing and protecting, that's in our nature. But should that be in nature for random strangers or for the people that we care about or that we add value to our life? And I keep saying a lot of these brothers struggle with adaptation to the mindset, the mentality of today. Even some of these guys, they're out here walking around trying to pick up game to feminists. Women that have basically told them, we'd rather have a bear than you. We think you're dangerous. We think you're violent because they've been programmed to a certain way that you as a man, just by the nature of being masculine, is a threat to them. And that's a fundamental problem. So they've tried for the last 70 plus years to feminize men, especially in this country in the West. So you're walking up to random strangers, or you have this mindset and this mentality of giving women certain privilege and treatment that's where women that were 80 years ago or 90 years ago deserved. These women don't deserve it because the social contract has been violated. Women are not the same. So you have to give them the equality sometimes that they ask for. And I'm not talking about all women, women that are part of your tribe or women that are part of the Lion Kingdom. I always say, I have no problem going out of my way for women that are part of our kingdom. But those hyenas across the way, those women who live their everyday existence, and you become the bane of their existence, and they're letting you know that they don't like you just for the fact that you were born male, not for many actions or behaviors, because their mentality that you're part of some evil patriarchy, even though patriarchy was a system in place that protected women and children, period. That's really what patriarchy was. Women and children protected, but there was an exchange of value. Women also respected, valued, honored those men, and bear those men's children. That was an exchange of system. That's a fair system. In fair exchange, there's no robbery. The social contract is gone, period, for the most part. Maybe some cultures somewhere that are more patriarchal and more where masculinity is valued, where people are not government empowered. Those situations do exist. But let's get right into the topic. One of the things that I've learned, and it's about deprogramming. We talk about adaptation on this channel, right? Adaptation is where we at. So even when I first was married and divorced, went through my divorce, one of the things you have to learn is how to unprogram the programming, the systemic program, a program that's built for the 1930s. It's almost like a matrix that they try to trap men in, especially in the West, with these, many men who are tolerant of a lot of ball-busting feminists. Let me tell you something, especially me as a 51-year-old guy. If it don't put a smile on my face, you might as well just go ahead. Kick rocks is my favorite term. You see the back of my bald head, I am out. I have zero tolerance for disrespect in terms of having people around me that don't pour value, that don't add value to me. I have like a calculator in my brain, period. As soon as I notice it, okay, see you later, peace, I'm out. But getting men to value themselves starts with deprogramming the social programming that was built for 1930s. It's 2025. And I introduced, obviously Ayn Rand. Look, you can say Ayn Rand is an atheist. You can skip that part. But her philosophy and her mindset, obviously she was raised in communist Russia and left and came to America, in the early 1900s. But the reality of it is this. I recommend Ayn Rand to a lot of the brothers because we need to deal with the altruism, this idea of your life as a sacrificial animal. This mindset and this mentality is based on a reality that does no longer exist in this world. Men have to be self-preservative. They have to preserve their self, preserve their mental health, preserve their resources, preserve their finances. There's nothing wrong with you protecting yourself, protecting your assets, being smart, and make decisions. Nobody shames Oprah. So why you got a problem? Why should it be shaming you? When women, if you program one gender to look out for itself and program the other gender to give up, sacrifice itself, you're going to have a slaughter out here. And that's what you see all the time in divorce courts and family court relationships. You program one person to jump on the grenade. And you program the other person to look from the distance and laugh as that person jumped on the grenade. So think about it logically from a man. You have to literally unplug yourself from the system to save your own life. If you're a man living in the West especially, and see your life as a value. So I recommend Ayn Rand, especially for you divorced brothers out here. Okay, look, all life is tested in the distance. You know, unless you hit with that lifetime alimony, then you got a whole different monster to fight with. Whew, that is a beast. But eventually, over time, if you do the things, self-development, don't make the same mistakes again, don't rush out here and get remarried and get back into the same situation. If you adapt, adjust your mindset, adjust your thinking, put that energy into your own self-development and purpose, you will do fine in the distance. I've been divorced for what? I've been unmarried for what? Whew, 20 years now. And what happens is the adaptation took place. What helped me is I got past that 3-year point where guys be running back to get married and remarried and thinking they missed something, or some guy who's lonely because he hates his own company and he hasn't adapted to the system and the reality of what we live in the modern world. He's going to run back to comfort because the society makes him feel like he's missing something, that he's not being the man he's supposed to be, or he's gauging himself according to men in the 1930s who were dealing with a different women. Today's women generally hate men. They don't like you. Stop pretending that they do. So a lot of times they get with men just to be under the protection and provision and whatever else. They want to be under men's wallet. They want to have the benefit of a man, but they don't want to serve that man. They don't want to provide you with extra, the fair exchange of value. Your life to them is that of a disposable tampon. Now, that's not all relationship. There are some women that offer men fair value, but that might not be your situation particular. So these are the realities of men today, and men have to adjust to them. And you see all these guys out here trying to sell these ecclesiastic marriages and old traditional values and whatever. You're literally living with a feminist. I mean, most of us have been programmed in feminism. You're living with a ball-busting feminist maybe it's hidden below the surface. And if it's not her, all her girlfriends, the people at work, the people on social media, people around us. And the environment has changed with social media. There's all kinds of distractions in that house. You could be a hard-working guy, come home, and you don't know what the hell she's talking about. That's because she watched 100 TikTok videos that day, or talked to some of her old ball-busting feminist girlfriends. And now that shit is in your house. And you don't know why. You don't know where it came from. That's because she's watching TikTok or some social media, and somebody's telling her how you suck. Because in her mind, there's a persecution mentality that's been installed in her mind. That's what feminism did. Make all women feel like they're victims, and that you are part of that evil patriarchy. And she cannot let you become too much of, for certain women. We're not talking about traditional minded women. We're talking about these particular matriarchal, gynocentric, gynocracy type women. They don't want to be a male lion can't lead a hyena. I don't care what alpha you guys take. Most of these dudes who act like they alpha with these modern women ain't nothing about another bunch of cucks, simps. Got their balls clipped, and they're lecturing you. Because every once in a while, every week or two, their wife let them get some marital missionary, and they think that they're better than you, even though you out here in the Serengeti, and box out here is basically on, you know, I wouldn't even say sale. It's on the clearance rack. That's how bad shit is out here in these streets. But, you know, they feel that they're oh, look at me. I'm married to some hyena. But they won't tell you how that woman is gnawing away. The dude has to go through hell just to get himself to maintain. He's on a treadmill of happiness. It's not all men. He won't tell you how much he's suffering. It looks good from the surface, but what's going on behind closed doors is absolute torture. He just won't say it because he wants to feel better than you. It's just like the Joneses. You look at the cross, they see their nice new cars and everything in the driveway. They don't want to tell you them credit card debt is killing them, and the house is hemorrhaging over there with death. You think they're living better than you because you driving your old car or whatever else, but you don't know what the type of suffering and stress that's going on, the arguments about money or whatever else. All you seeing is the surface level of bullshit, in which people are pretty good at it. Even when you look at social media, you see happy people. I'm sorry. What's the saying that they say on social media? What is it? Sad people with happy faces. So nobody's going to show you what's going on in their life. They're not going to show you the truth about what's happening behind the scenes. Sad people with happy pictures. That's what you're going to see. So you don't know reality because it's like the Matrix blinds you from the truth about what people are about. But all you can focus on is your life as a man, as an individual, and what you need to do for you and how you need to preserve your peace and your happiness and your freedom. You ain't missing much. So the adaptation has to happen. And a lot of guys are fighting it. I'm not talking about the guys who've left the culture and went to some other place where there's traditional masculinity in place, where there's a fair exchange of what men do and what women do, and there's a return, and there's a circle that works, a circle of energy, and the social contract is in place. I'm talking about here in this gynocentric, male-destroying, vampirist culture that we have here for men. You got to play the game a certain type of way, or you're going to end up getting cannibalized, and you're surrounded by cucks and simps. Look here. One thing I've learned in life, if you see a dude, you have a friend or whatever else, and he's a cuck, he's a cuck, you got to be careful what you say to him, because whatever you say to him, he's reporting to the queen. You can't trust that dude. That dude has sold his soul for a little bit of comforts. He's been compromised. You can't trust him. You talking to him, you might as well be talking to her. Always see, when you see a man around his woman, you watch how he behaves and how he acts. Like this guy, Akash Singh, whatever his name is. He just cucked. Jesus, this guy, the type of spineless jellyfish type men we see in this culture, it's disturbing. It really is. But you see a guy like that, and he comes and he mouths off, and they'll growl at men. But half of these dudes can't even, they got to ask permission just to walk out the house. That's the type of men that, it's just, what's the term they call it? Misplaced aggression. So you see these guys all the time, they come in, they lecture men, they attack men. This is misplaced aggression. They have no power at home. Because why would they waste their time talking to us? It's like these women who come in the comment section and try and lecture me. I just look at the comment. I already know what's going on in their life. Their life sucks. Because you always can tell, you got one of those big old hyenas in your comment section. They're talking at you because they think that they have superior intelligence and superior intellect to you. They don't understand how intelligent we are, how crafty we are, the level that we can exist and survive, the comfort for which we can exist in this planet. Men can exist in some serious. That's why I'm a 51-year-old single guy. You don't see me come out here complaining about the economy and complaining about. No, I will acknowledge that inflation is a bitch, but men can live very simple lives, especially when we're single. Costs are low. I make all my repairs. This car is owned outright, so I don't really struggle like how women struggle. Well, I don't even have hair. I'm bald. Cut this myself, so I'm not even paying for a barber. We can exist. We can cook our own food. We can exist in a reality. This coffee right here was bought off of Wawa points, which is I paid $0 for it today. I just used the points I built from my fuel. And it's just really simple life, easy life. And that's what men, I just want to get men into that mindset of adaptation. Start with Ayn Rand. Deprogram the system. That doesn't mean you change who you are as a human being. You still could be kind and respectful to people, but you're not a sucker. You're not out here out going out of your way trying to make women comfortable. Especially women you know that despise you just for the fact that you were born with male DNA and male genitalia. So peace and blessings to you guys. Salute to all you brothers who supported the channel, came through. Make sure you hit the like button. We'll talk soon. As usual, I got to get into my self-development work. Where am I going? To the damn gym to get my mindset mentality working. The market's open at 9:30 today. It's easy for me to have this energy that I have because I don't have women bothering me. I go deal with women when I want to deal with women. When I don't, I can enjoy my peace. I like women from way across town. I like to visit them where I can escape and get away from them. You live a better life that way. Peace and blessings to you guys. Hey, make sure you take care of yourself because nobody's going to take care of you like you. I'm out.